Late night in the shop. We started on another 600 horsepower pump gas small block street monster. So y'all that know what you're looking at, you see the freeze plugs, you know what's going on. It's bored over 40, not gonna say the stroke size because this might be a possibly grudge car, but it's going in a 80 Trans Am T-top. Y'all make sure y'all lay around, stay tuned for this one. This is gonna be one to see, man. So late night in the shop, I'm gonna show y'all this block is fresh from the machine shop, fresh boils. And with a fresh block, I still like to get me some of this Summit degreaser block, pressure wash it, blow it off, and get it ready for paint. And then we can go ahead and start assembling this short block. So hit it with a little degreaser, take it out and hit it with the pressure washer. And we're gonna go on and get it thing degreased and start the assembly, man. Pressure washing every engine, no matter how small the bed is. Get my air compressor, my air chuck, blow them off, clean them out. Clean, getting up all the cam bearing holes, the oil galley holes. Got the block all dried off. Take one of your shop towels and wipe each cylinder out. Even though it's been cleaned and degreased, you still want to wipe each cylinder out. You can see it still get dirty in there. Take it, find another clean spot. Just run the towel down in there. Make sure you're getting all the grit, dirt and grease out the cylinder. I don't have a mask on, but don't try this at home. I got the fan blowing in the back, so it's blowing the fumes right past you. I'm kind of holding my breath like, you know what I'm saying, when I'm spraying. Finished product, got the block sprayed. Y'all see how easy that was. I used to tape them up, but I found out a quicker way to do it. I don't tape them if I get a little overspray. I had just a little oil in the cylinder, so once you just wipe it, it come right off. But I set the crank in, so I want to show y'all something when you're building these big inch small blocks or these long rod motors. A lot of times you have some clearance issues with the connectors rods when you're using H-beam rods. So I'm gonna spin this motor over and show y'all what I'm doing. All right, so with the crankshaft in, what I did was I just put the first cap on. So I put a main bearing in the first one, and I put one in the fourth one, and that's gonna hold the crank in there steady and straight, so you can get a true reading. So, like I said, a lot of times when you're setting these motors up, when you're using a H-beam rod, like this one right here, we're using an H-beam rod. They're mostly cut to clear a small base circle cam, but when you're using something longer than the factory rod for a 400 or like a 6-inch rod, and you got a 6125, depending on the application. A lot of times when the motor come around, you're gonna see that it hits right here. So you have to clearance out the block a little bit so that rod will go down in there. So each motor when I build it, this is how I normally mock them up. But I'm gonna put it together, spin the motor around, and show y'all what it looks like. Alright, so I got the piston and the rod in. And a lot of times, you'll only have to worry about this problem on cylinder 7 and 8. Very rarely you will have to worry about it on 1 and 3. But I just double check them all. So when you do it, make sure you put a bearing in the first cap, in the fourth cap. And then make sure you also put a bearing inside of the rod, top and bottom. You don't have to put a piston ring on it. You just need to be able to spin the motor over. So when you spin it over, as you can see, it's gonna hit right there. Y'all can see what that's at. Just to give you an idea where it's hitting at. So a lot of times what I'll do, take it lay it like that, take a Sharpie, mark it around right here, and then use like just a regular die grinder tool and clean that up. And you want to kind of go, make sure it's clear, it's good. You only do it one time. You want to go down inside of the block here, down inside that valley. And then once you set up, this is with the motor side down, that's cylinder number 8. You want to put number 7 in, rotate it, and make sure that it has clearance right in here in this area and this area. For the most part though, all of them will be clear. I done plenty of them, so I kind of already know which ones it is. So that's why I went straight to cylinder 8, 7, 8, and show y'all what to look for if you're building a 6-inch rod, 400 small block or better. A lot of times on a 383, it's the same concept. You're gonna have to clearance it, but instead of being 7, 8, you have to do all of them. So I got that pretty much. I know I need to clearance it at. As you can see, this crank, all the whole rotating system has been balanced. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this bagger loose, clearance the block, blow everything back off, and then we'll go ahead and complete the final assembly on the short block. Yeah, I painted it and pressure washed it first, but this is just my method of doing it. No right or wrong method. In my book, when you're doing this way, you can mock it up first, pressure wash and paint it last. I mean, I've done it numerous ways, but being that I have so many motors to put together, I had to make it flow easy for me. So I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to show y'all what the notching looks like too once it's done.